Good morning, students. It's a Saturday, so you might hear that lawnmower in the background. This is a new assignment for this week, and I just wanted to go through it with you and give you some tips on how to finish it. So let's open it up. How did the fall of Rome, which we've just finished, impact Western and Eastern Europe? So we'll start with remembering the fall of Rome assignment, three of the causes, and then go ahead and predict how you think that might impact the rest of Western Europe and Eastern Europe too. As you move on from that to the next page, you have a timeline that shows you because we're moving into a different timeline. We're moving out of ancient into medieval or Middle Ages. And so there's an introduction as to what time dates we're talking about, and a short explanation as to why we use that time period, and then a description down there at the bottom. So be sure that you look through all of this so you have an idea of the time period we're going to be talking about. We will not get into the end years of this. We'll be pretty much in the beginning part of it before we end up the school year here. So here's a quick review of how the Roman Empire fell and how it led to the development of medieval Europe and the Byzantine Empire. We won't spend a lot of time on the Byzantine Empire. So answer these hits. Here's what they say, and here's what you say. So identify two causes for the decline of the Roman Empire based on what we have here and what you already know. And then it goes on to ask 6 more questions. Then we move on to this map here on Western versus Eastern Europe during the Middle Ages. And I want you to examine the information that they have here. Be sure to read the description first. Look at the map and the shading to separate the Eastern and Western empires. And then we have 3 topics. The first topic is government. And then it says based on the map and the text provided, so the text is right here below the map, answer this question about the difference between the political structure. So we're talking government and how it's being governed, and what evidence do you see from the map that helps support what you saw in the text. Then we go on to topic 2, which is religion. And you see a modern picture of the modern day leaders of the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church. You have some text here about what Western Europe was like and what Eastern Europe was like regarding religion during this time period. And there are 2 questions here to answer based on the image and the text. Identify 3 differences between those 2. And then, question number 3, identify 1 similarity. Topic 3 is economics or economics. So we have a picture of what a feudal manor looked like in medieval Europe. And then we have a map showing us the organization of the Byzantine Empire in Eastern Europe. Remember to read the text here under the images about these 2 very different images, and then based on the text and those images, please answer the question, how were they different economically during the Middle Ages? And 1 or 2 sentences is fine there. Don't worry if you run on to the next page. And then you have your final assessment here. How did the fall of Rome impact Western and Eastern Europe? And again, use the evidence from the documents above. So everything you've just done, so you've already done all of the work. You're just going to summarize it here on the last page. And you know how important the last page is to me when I go to assess the work that you've done. Oh, come on here. My scroll bar is not cooperating with me this morning. All right. And one more thing in that summary. Use conjunctions but, because, or so. So when you answer the question, how did the fall of Rome impact Western and Eastern Europe? The fall of Rome impacted Western and Eastern Europe because, or but, or so, somewhere in your sentence or your second sentence. You can write a short paragraph here. And you're going to be comparing the two, so that's where your conjunctions come in. So you choose between the political, religious, or economic structures in these two different parts of Europe and Northern Africa, yes, and a little bit of the Middle East here on the eastern side. So pick political, religious, or economic, and then explain how the fall of Rome impacted one of those structures in Western and Eastern Europe during the Middle Ages. And I will see you in class.